Hello, this is Chiak. We are back again with another set of within the Pursuit of Darkness. I totally forgot the name. The Loath Nolder mystery. Let's read the letter first, I'd say. Underline specific words or sentences in a document may give Howard some clues. Press the underline button. Okay. Jonathan. You know that I like to stick to the point. I'm writing this note to you because I know that shortly something bad is going to happen to me. For about 4 months now, we haven't seen each other, and I didn't reveal my location because I knew that as long as I was looking after the company and keeping things in order, you wouldn't worry about me. I will speak plainly. I know that you don't like me, and the feeling is mutual, but this is not the time for such matters. About 1 year ago, I bought a house in the old northern quarter, and I was living there during the gradually increasing time periods when we didn't speak to each other. True to my nature, mysteries of olden times always attracted me more than anything else, and you also know that I never want to mention my present situation neither to you nor to anyone else. In fact, up until 2 months ago, I never even considered such a thing. And now, despite the inconceivable nature of the situation that I am in, I can hardly suppress my feelings of reluctance. You can call this a sort of childish jealousy, but I don't care. Right now, it is impossible to tell you what has happened. If you wonder, you can acquire a little information from my notes, which I have included in this package. There is just one thing I want from you. Do not go there and sell it any way you can. Do this both for you and for our family's honor. And don't go to the police regarding this affair. Don't go whatever happens. You can find the address below. We will not meet again. Take care. Clark to Jonathan. Oh, wait, sorry. Underline. Oh, it wants me to underline it itself. Click on the read think. Oh, okay, sorry. Let me go back to this. Okay, so we underline it. I had to do it by hand. There's an address here, but of what? Okay, so I guess if we underline something. Nothing particularly interesting. Okay. That's very... Who's Jonathan? Jonathan Field. Okay. Field Clark's younger brother. Okay. Well, that's really it. So, January... I'm assuming that is month. It's month, day, year. Under that, yeah, okay. So it's month, day, and year. So January 3rd, 2011. I decided to write these notes precisely 1 month after I bought this house, in which I have found myself lost in thoughts, adrift in its dim silence. I escaped the meaningless monotony of my life by listening to every creak, every sound the house makes. I may not write often, but I think that these notes are important. I found this house only by an astonishing coincidence. I had gotten lost in the snow-covered narrow streets of this part of the city while I was wandering. I felt in awe, as though I were adrift in some misty past. I awoke from my wonder and strove to find the way back. That is how I came to this house. Its majestic appearance attracted my attention. For some time, I had wanted a place to come to from time to time, to listen to this overlooked world of the past that no one knows and where no one wants to come. I found a barely legible metal plate on the half-ruined garden wall that showed the numbers of the house. It was covered with rust, probably as old as the house itself. Without hesitation, I recorded this number in my digital organizer. which I bought some time ago because of my increasing forgetfulness. I don't know. Okay. When I inspected it from the outside, it was obvious that no one lived there at the time. I examined it in order to learn if it was for sale or not, and I can't describe my feelings when I found the person who was selling it. Later, I talked to the vendor and with a happy smile on his face, I remembered he said that he had never come here before if the house had been left to his company because of a mortgage, and he wanted to sell it right away, but never thought that this would happen. He didn't know anything more about the house, and in fact, I wouldn't have cared if he had. I bought it without hesitation. There's one point that I want to continue without mentioning. That I don't want to continue without mentioning. After I bought the house, I learned that it had another admirer who introduced himself as Ivar Bergen, a Norwegian immigrant. Judging from his appearance, it was obvious that he was a wealthy person, and I remember that he said when he first met that he was also an aspiring owner, but seemed that he was too late. No? I just want to see. I'm kind of curious of how particular this thing can be. No, okay. Is that thing going to keep flashing? January 18th, 2011. This house is an old and real place beyond my imagination. I cannot stop thinking of what it would say if walls could talk. Some of the surrounding houses have been abandoned and shunned by people and are on the brink of collapse. A few of them even collapsed a long time ago. It makes me wonder as to the probability of restoration having been done fairly recently, since the house is still standing firm and strong. I am sure that this house is as old as the surrounding ones. Maybe the main reason for the bad reputation of this quarter is the different rumors that are often spread about some of the abandoned houses. These rumors recount about how these houses have sometimes had bad owners, including some unknown foreigners. Some people in the town consider the crime rate to be high here, but that has not been my experience. The inhabitants of the neighborhood keep very much to themselves and don't socialize frequently, other than to gossip quietly amongst themselves. I feel like my tongue just I can't move it properly to read. February 16th, 2011, I started getting to know Ivar Bergen and can say that our interests coincide almost completely. He visited me after our first meeting and we took the opportunity to talk at length. He managed to enchant me with his vast knowledge of mystic subjects. We talked the night away, discussing topics of mutual interest, and he told me about the things he experienced in some Eastern European countries and in India, and about his connections with some really esoteric and secret people and societies. He told me that he had read some books and tomes which were prohibited, or attempts had been made to try to destroy them a long time ago. I cannot describe the pleasure I had when he expressed his unbelievable theories about the background of most of the things which are assumed to be superstitions, with proof cited from things he had read in some of the ancient sources. For a long time, I lived alone amongst ordinary people and cannot describe the empty feeling that I always felt within me. From now on, I think that I will not have such a problem anymore. In life, it is really hard to find someone who you can speak with, even with your own family. I told Ivar this from the bottom of my heart, and encouraged him to visit me whenever he likes. Can I underline Ivar's name now? Nope. March 3rd, 2011. Before tending to the outdoor areas, I decided to restore the interior of the house. To do this, I was assisted by the original blueprints. While I was checking the antique furniture last night in order to decide what to throw away, I found one carved wooden statue and a strange, well-like dig whose opening was carefully covered with a single piece of rusty metal plate and some wooden blocks. I had not checked this room before since its key was not given to me with the others. I might have noticed this beforehand, but I didn't have much time to get the keys, being busy with company agreements, and the man from whom I bought this house was abroad traveling. No. Incidentally, there is another point that I can't continue without mentioning. That room, which oddly enough contains a well, has no electric wiring. It is really strange that, in contrast, all the other rooms have electricity, so I had to light up the room with some lanterns which I found among the old furniture of the house. I felt a slight cold draught come from within the carefully covered well, and occasionally I heard some rattling sounds. But because I didn't have a strong enough flashlight, I couldn't examine the situation down below. I even threw a few small wooden blocks down, but I only heard sounds which made me think that the ground at the bottom is covered with mud. As soon as possible, I'm going to buy a stronger flashlight and try to examine down below. There isn't even the slightest clue regarding the reasons for digging such a well. Maybe it is the entrance to an underground room which was dug for the purpose of taking shelter during an extraordinary situation, such as war. I wanted to take a look down there, but the ladder at the side seemed too rusty and flimsy. I decided that trying would be too dangerous, so I tried to find another way, but I couldn't find anything useful at the time. The carved wooden statue is a complete enigma. I have no idea what it depicts. Whenever I hold it, due to reasons that I can't comprehend, I feel that it is very ancient. It was carved smoothly from a species of trees that I don't recognize, and it contains a secret compartment. I think that I unintentionally did something because it opened by itself, or maybe it was already opened. I'm not sure. There was nothing in the secret compartment. It was completely empty. Oddly enough, I felt that it had once stored something very precious. In addition, a beautiful yet subtle smell is dispersing from within the secret compartment. I cannot tell what it is, but maybe it's some type of incense. How much is there to this? Okay, so I'm basically on the last two pages. March 24th, 2011. I think I've really started to get used to the house during the first weeks. Although I even hid this from myself, I felt like I wasn't going to get used to being here. I was jumping at every creak and cautiously listening to every sound. I kept waking up because of some excessively dense, strange smells whose source I couldn't identify, and then I wasn't able to get back to sleep again. Yes, this may sound childish, but this house has a genius loci that is really effective, as if all the creaks which are heard within and all these musty smells are alien. Maybe some of the stories that I have heard from some of the local people have influenced my thinking. The importance of these stories, most of them being related to the old owners of the house, seemed too much for the local people. When they talk about these matters, a tone dominates their voice that is a mixture of awe and reverence, and as though they are afraid of being heard, they start to whisper. According to the stories, this quarter is one of the first settlements of the Wellsmith, and for this reason, the house which are standing now are the reconstructed or at least vastly restored versions of the old original ones. There was a special purpose for trying to keep some of the houses intact, and they are too tight-lipped about this purpose. They mention some connections and deep wells, like the one I found in my house, but they refrain from describing the purpose of these. If I investigate further, I hope to learn more about these connections or deep wells. April 21st, 2011. I've completed all the preparation for the restoration and hired a competent and experienced team. They will start working next week to change all the inner wooden planking and wallpaper. I hope that with these changes I can stop all these musty and other unknown smells. I can't say that Ivar likes this restoration process. He asserted that such changes are going to destroy the original genius loci, and he argued with me on this for a long time. For some reason that I could not understand, I can't stop thinking that he was more angry than he let on. Yes, I know that he is really sensitive about such topics, but I can't change his opinion. I told him that this is going to be a restoration that is based on the original design. I'm not going to change my mind about this. As soon as that's possible, I want to have the restoration process completed. Huh. Okay. Is this thing gonna, like, is there something I specifically have to underline because it keeps... These are the notes that Jonathan mentioned in his statements. Okay, there we go. That's what I was supposed to be doing this entire time. All documents are researched in this manner. There are still clues in this letter. Good luck finding them. Okay. There's still clues in this. Alternatively, in standard difficulty mode, you can make Howard research the visible pages and find the clues automatically. Okay, I know that you like to stick to the point. I'm writing this to you because I know shortly something's... I don't know if it's like a particular word. Like, I don't know how... from about 4 months... I didn't reveal my location because I knew looking at the company, keeping things in order. Okay. That's, you put near enough, it will... I bought a house. Interesting. Mr. Fields secretly bought a house. Okay, so if I did the house thing... And I could do this. Here's the address of Clark Field's house. The key is in an envelope, must be his house keys. I better go there to continue the investigation. Okay. Interesting. This is a very neat mechanic I haven't come across before in an adventure game. But that should be done, so let's go to this house. Despite the fact that in the letter it said, do not go there, whatever you do. Also, I know it's like my apartment where I have resided for a long time. I am not staying here merely because of its low price, but for the silence that I prefer. Only poor people and artists live in a place like this. Okay, that's his... Okay, so this is his front entrance. This is his bedroom. So, I literally am just coming here just to see what the hell this area is. Oh, is this his closet? It's like a walk-in closet? Okay. So that's what this is. It's a closet. Okay, let's leave. Yes, I literally just came back so I can... I thought it was the front... You see, the umbrella made me think it was the front door. Because, you know, most people keep their umbrellas by the front door in like a little stand. Okay. So let's leave. So let's go to this house. This place welcomes one with a threatening sulk. You reach it by climbing through serpentine, shady, tunnel-like streets where the houses bulge and lean against each other. and the hostile natives peer out of the windows and doors furtively. The interior looks much different than the exterior would suggest. Looks so mysterious. I think I can find something here. Moss. I can find moss. It's locked. Okay. What about down here? This door is not locked, but there's something behind it that blocks it. Okay. I can't wait to increase the gamma for this game because I'm having such a hard time seeing it. I'm seeing anything at all, which means that anyone watching this would have even more difficult time. This game is dark. Okay. Let's investigate this room before we enter. If there's anything to investigate. Right. Let's go forward here. There's a note written on the back of this photo that reads Jonathan and Clark Field. Mr. Field said that he and his brother did not get along. This is the only family picture here. Oh, there's papers right there. There's a lot of reading in this, I can say. Can I just say right now? I better make sure to have a glass of water. These are Mr. Field's notes. So my notes were not the complete set. Okay. You know what? Let's just explore first before... Door's locked. Okay, so we can't even do anything there. That one's locked. It's much colder here than in the other parts of the house. Also, there are a lot of moths in this house. Strange. Why is it strange? It smells weird here. It could be some kind of incense. Strong scent. What is this? An electrical panel. Okay. Anything else here? Okay. Not that. Messy. Messy, okay. That's literally the only thing you're gonna say. Anything of note? No, it just says messy. He just says this desk is very messy. Not quite the observation I was hoping you'd go for, but sure. Messy. It's locked. Makes sense. Okay. Let's exit. Okay, I think in order for me to go upstairs, an unreadable paper. The clock stopped at 6:55 a.m. It's unreadable because there's no light. You could always just, you know, pick it up and take it somewhere where you can, you know, read it. Do we have anything here? No. I forgot, I have a key. Is the key to the house specifically, or is it for a door in the house? Piece of paper and furniture are randomly scattered around. Oh, there's like more back here. Okay. The hell? This is the washroom, huh? Terrible looking washroom. Alright, so unfortunately a good 13 minutes of the video got corrupted at the end here, but the audio still lasts for a good 12 minutes more. A good 12 minutes, so it's just like a minute left, probably just the end of the set anyway. Nonetheless, because just by listening to the audio that this section was very exploratory in nature, that's going to be something that's really hard to recreate, to replay and recreate. So with that said, I'm just going to have the last bits. So I re-recorded the audio and I'm just going to have it play out on screen here. Hopefully I'll put some nice little visualizer so it's not a completely empty black screen. But either way, here we go. This is the washroom, huh? Terrible looking washroom. Some of the rooms, including this one, have been partially restored. The furniture has been placed haphazardly. Some rope. Just take it. That's our exit out. Moths. Okay. Thank you for this dude's observation. Is that a mirror? I can't even... See, here's the thing. I can't see what the hell is going on right now. Is there anything in front of me? No. Random door creaking, okay. What do we got here? Candles. I'm assuming things we can put items down on, but I can't really do anything. What's this? What's this? What's this? This pot looks authentic. Okay. Very old books, volumes of forgotten lore. These look very threatening. Okay. I'll be honest, because I can't really see what these masks look like. There are a lot of different masks here, and they think that they are African. This note is about the manuscript, an indication of a strange interest Mr. Field had. A desk calendar on which some dates have been marked. see doctor since February. Nothing? Really? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna read that one. Looks strong. Okay. So, May 17th, 2011. For the past 2 weeks, I was out of town because of my job, and when I returned feeling tired, I learned that the restoration had not been completed due to the sounds that some of the workers suggest came from the cellar. This incident made me really angry, and I immediately obtained a strong flashlight in order to find out what those superstitious vagrants may have been afraid of. My purpose was, by using the rusty old ladder, to go down and just take a look down there. But it didn't matter how many steps down I took, the ground continued to be concealed and in the claustrophobic pitch darkness of the well. A short time later, I noticed the opening of a horizontal tunnel. I entered the tunnel to check it, but I don't know how long I stayed in there, wondering why and when this worm-like burrow was dug. But when I decided to proceed, I felt that my legs were aching. After moving forward a short distance, I reached a wide chamber which was full of blood-curdling strange statues. On its walls, you could see signs of some erased and now, to a great extent, unreadable writings or wall paintings. The air was dominated by some kind of thick, decaying smell, which caused me to cough frequently. From the opening of the tunnel, on the right and left walls of the chamber, there were some kind of statues which looked almost alive, so much so that just for a second I thought that they would rise and start to walk, which I thought depicted Syrian-headed creatures with the bodies of men. There was another figure which seemed to depict a ruler similar to the hybrid statues on the walls, who was sitting on his throne and watching one of those creatures being sacrificed. The scene was depicted with such realism that no one could look at it without feeling a sense of terror. When I got close to the figure sitting on its throne, I noticed that some kind of smoke was leaking in from the gaps that were behind the concrete throne. In fact, this was not easily discerned, because if not for the wind which was blowing the smoke inside, I wouldn't have noticed it at all. I heard some sounds coming from behind those gaps, which allowed the wind and smoke to enter. The presence of these gaps made me believe that there may be other chambers below that one. If so, this could be an important archaeological discovery. I jumped with fright on hearing some noises that were certainly coming from beyond the tunnel in the depths of the pitch-black well. I'd immediately entered the tunnel, intent on locating the source of the noises. In spite of my strong flashlight, visibility was limited. Though through wary eyes, it may have been a momentary illusion or the enormously magnified shadow of a rat being illuminated by my flashlight beam. But I saw, or I think I saw, something moving down there. I jumped with fright because of this, but only later would I realize the thing that shocked me and caused me to wake up from nightmares and listen shivering to the sounds that came from beyond the darkness that, like a thick blanket, covered the places where merciful moonlight cannot reach, while I attempted to see something with my flashlight within. That gluttonous darkness, I had the feeble voice that came from some faraway place, calling out something like, "Come." The voice was very similar to that of Ivar's familiar low-pitched voice. Though the effect of that shock, I threw my flashlight into the dense and dreary darkness, and with both hands free, I dashed to the cold, damp, and rusty metal ladder, which at the time seemed to me as though it was eons old. While I was climbing up and without daring to look down, I caused a piece of the ladder to be broken off, and it fell into the pitch darkness. Maybe because of the comforting feeling provided by this incident, I managed to reach the top and get out of that well. The next morning, when I woke up to my bedroom bathed in sunlight, I thought that all these events were just illusions, merely caused by excessive weariness and insomnia. I reached another conclusion. Maybe Ivar was right about the restoration. This sort of place has very important features invisible to the naked eye. Hence, I decided to leave the house as it is now. I'm not going to make any further efforts to restore the house. Oh, it's a blank page. Okay. So maybe I should, the new ones, because it said the strong scent, so maybe... Oh, sorry, this is the wrong book. Nope, nope, nope. Part 2 for it. There's way more entries. Just trying to see. He says something about like incense or something. That's what I'm trying to find right now, but I'm not sure if I'm going to find it here. Okay. Okay. I don't imagine I can do anything right now. Can I put these two things together? Here, here, combine? Nope. Okay, thought I'd try. Wait, That didn't ring a bell. Alright, so that was the end. That's at least what I was able to capture of the audio. Nonetheless, as you heard, the game was pretty dark at this point. I believe I do increase the gamma next set. But nonetheless, thank you for liking if you liked. Thank you for commenting if you commented. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribed. Thank you for simply clicking on this video. Until next time, guys, see ya!